Well, coming up is part 4 of our kind of getting to know you series on Dennis Hoare and Faith 401k and money management. Today, we're going to wrap it all up talking about the planning process specifically. If you want to learn more about what goes into what they do every single day, how they can help you, what it's like to work with Faith 401k, stay tuned. Welcome in. I am Ben George alongside Dennis Hoare. He is founder and president of Faith 401k and Money Management, located there in beautiful Loveland, Ohio. You can find everything online at 401k.faith. Dennis, good to talk to you again. How are you today?
Great. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm doing well. We've kind of gone through a little bit of everything so far in this opening series that we're putting on YouTube to kind of kick things off on the channel. Today, I want to focus on the business of planning and kind of what you do every day, because this is the core of what we're talking about here on the channel and why I'm sure most people are checking this out. So I want to dive in and talk about the planning process, which we talked a little bit about from the surface level, but kind of take me into that process at Faith 401k from start to finish, kind of what someone can expect working with you.
Yeah. So, geez, it's intimidating. I'm always telling clients right up front, it's going to be more work on their part than it is on ours. We're collecting data from everywhere from them, and that's the biggest challenge for clients is getting their stuff together. Get your Social Security statement, get your 401k statement, your banks, those kind of things. Getting the budget together. And the budget is really a challenging part. Where money is going, what they're spending it on, that seems to be a challenge. But we want to make it easy, so we just want to collect the data as much as possible, and then we'll put it into a format that is usable for them. So it usually takes 2 or 3 week period of time where we're collecting data, reaching back out. So what about this? Did we do this? So there's a lot of back and forth in the first couple of weeks on building a plan out for somebody. But it all begins with the data collection process.
So yeah, it begins with that data collection and coming prepared. But I know you'll walk through what's needed kind of when you work with someone. But what is the kind of the process itself? Kind of once you've kind of set things up, how often are you communicating with people? How often are you evaluating, meeting with people? What does that process look kind of once you've established that plan?
Great question. So once we get the plan complete, we meet, go through it. We talk about what works, what doesn't work, because it doesn't always work the first time, and what we need to do different and going forward, that kind of stuff. But once it's in place, up to the client for the most part that we can meet up to 4 times a year to review things. And usually in the first year or 2, they might do 2 or 3 meetings. After we get a couple of years where they're comfortable with what's going on and we're more comfortable, then we have a mandatory once a year meeting, and that is just to reset our path to make sure we're still on target, we're going the right direction with their retirement.
All right, so kind of that ongoing communication. And then even once you get into retirement, right, the process never stops. It's not the finish line, right? And what does it look like once you're in retirement? And is it still the kind of the same, hey, just check in and make sure everything's kind of going as planned?
Yeah, and again, the same thing. Now you're retired, and the common question or common comment I get from retired clients is, I don't know how I had time to work. I got grandkids going here. I'm going on vacation here. I'm whatever they're doing. It just consumes their time, and they're always amazed how much is going on and getting scheduled in. The nice thing so the bad thing happened in our world was COVID. It really interrupted life for everybody, but it also pushed financial advisors and clients to use technology to their advantage that they didn't want to use before. So we can do meetings via the phone, via Zoom, via in person. So we give all 3 options to clients. So some meetings will be just a quick phone review. Some will be more of a webcast or web meeting. But we would like to, in a perfect world, we'll have at least once a year a sit down one-on-one meeting with clients to go through their stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting how the world's changed over the last 5 years. You're kind of forced to do a lot of things outside of our comfort zone in many ways, but I think it's been beneficial, and it's the reason why a lot of people are now on camera and comfortable on camera like we're doing right now. So it's kind of the new world, but it's cool to see that you kind of integrate all those different types of meetings, to work with someone. So it's good to know for anyone that is more comfortable in person or virtual, whatever kind of works for you.
My
A
last
lot of,
doctor's appointment was virtual. I said, my last doctor's appointment was virtual. I was like, geez.
I've had a couple of those along the way too. Yeah. I know a lot of what you do is about customizing, right? That's the whole reason you sit down and work with a financial advisor is to find a customized solution, right? Not a cookie cutter, one size fits all plan. So how do you customize your plans to help meet those specific needs that people come in and have for their retirement?
It's communication, questions, listening, helping inform, because a lot of people don't know what they need to have. So we have to be able to know what they're going to do in retirement. Some of it's longevity planning. Did your parents live a long time? Did they not? That kind of stuff. Just figuring out what is a game plan to get them into retirement, where the money is going to come from, give them an order to the money. If you're going to, you still got to pay bills when you're retired. You can be debt free, you still have taxes, food, things get higher every year. And that's if your money's not working to get higher every year, that becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, we're well aware of inflation. Thankfully, it's settled down some, but I know people that have maybe forgotten about it for a number of years when it was low, we're well aware of the last four or so. So it's front and center. When you measure success for clients, I know obviously the ultimate goal is to be retired and stay retired, right? To not run out of money. That's the winning end game. But how do you measure success? Is it just strictly a financial thing, or do you measure it in other ways?
Yeah, so the success is that's why we want to get so personal with our clients. I've talked in all these meetings now, getting personal, learning the client, knowing what their goals are, because if it's not built to their needs, they can't get comfortable with it. And what's rewarding to us is getting them to where they can say, okay, I trust this. I feel like, okay, this is going to work for me. We've covered all the bases and I feel good. So when somebody gets to that point, that's the rewarding part for me, is seeing their look on their face. You mean I could retire? It's like, and whether it's here or here, that's a cool thing to do. So customizing it to each individual person, because there are no two people alike, for sure.
Yeah, and again, that's why you build a plan, right, to identify those needs and figure out the solutions. Because a lot of times you don't know what options are even on the table for you, and you've done this so many times that you're well aware of those different tools that are out there and available for people. So again, that's kind of how you go through it. A lot of people are hesitant about financial planning, Dennis, for whatever reason. I think some people just don't think they need planning. We talked about that a little bit in our past videos, but what advice would you give someone that's kind of straddling the fence, maybe, or a little skeptical about, how much value truly is there with working with an advisor and building a plan?
The advice is, what do you have to lose to do a plan? So, and unless they are already really good at money and numbers and that kind of stuff, and most people are not, if they have it all figured out already, they don't need us. But if they haven't figured it out yet, nothing to lose, everything to gain by doing a plan. That's where it all begins.
That's where it all begins. You can go to 401k.faith to learn more. You can actually schedule a meeting there through the website if you want to call the office as well. It's 513-898-1897. And just, again, a reminder for that first meeting, Dennis, kind of take me through kind of what someone needs to have if they decide to come in and sit down with you, what they need to have prepared, and what can they expect to talk about that first conversation with you.
First conversation is going to be getting to know you, personal, understanding what their goals are, what their likes are, what they don't like. We talked about a survey about what their favorite candy, what their favorite food is, what their color is, the favorite flowers. And I liked your added question, what's your favorite joke, to do that. We also do, what's your favorite drink? Is it bourbon? Is it soda? Whatever. So we want to get to know them. If they and we encourage them to bring their financial information with them, because that's something that's going to help us launch into a planning event.
Awesome. Very good. Again, go to the website. You can find videos. You can find other resources, learn more about Dennis and the team there as well. And as always, you can schedule a time to meet with the team right there through Faith 401k management, money management right there on the website. 401k.faith is the easiest way to remember the website and get to it. But hopefully this helps you out. A little 4-part series. Again, go back and check them out. The business, learn more about Dennis as a person, what drives him outside of work itself. the clients that are maybe most common to work with a team, and who we hope gets the most out of these videos every single week. And then also today, the planning process. We'll have a lot to come on the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to that. We'll have videos. We'll get more into the conversation about planning and the specifics of that as we move forward. So we hope you join us along the way. But Dennis, we appreciate everything you shared with us so far and look forward to the journey ahead.
Great. Thanks, Ben. It's been a great time.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.